Sorry, Sag, because I was doing so much in between that I just was like, I was spiritually like healing, and I was like, yeah, I'm coming out of that, but I can still be overwhelmed and overloaded, so I'm gonna just kind of let it one card at a time, you know what I mean? But the beauty of this is you guys get 3. So that's why I'm saying it's only going to be a month. So the next month we'll have another one and so on and so forth. But I did want to point that out. Also, whatever you do in this deck is going to set you up to ground down your Fae blessings and anchor them into the 3D, which is pretty badass because that's how I roll. And when I do spiritual stuff, so they will support each other. So while this works as an energy once a week, this will help you for the whole month. Even if the Fae blessing changes, the lesson might be still the same. You might learn a different aspect using the Fae versus this, but nonetheless, you'll still be learning lessons. You'll still be going through the rites, rituals, and incantations, and you can still use them, which is pretty cool. So, okay, Sag, now that I have plugged in myself a little bit, I hate doing that. I'm like, let's get to the spirituality because, you know, that's just me. I'm a Scorpio Sagittarius, so like I just, doing plugs, I hate it, but I'm like, I mean, you guys gotta know, you know, otherwise I'm just wasting my time making this stuff if I never put myself out there, which was a big problem I had for the last couple of years. I would do products and then I'd get sick and then I'd get insecure because the energy would change so dang quick, and then I'd never put my stuff out there. You know, or like someone would stop me, which I have environmental influences, like trying to always, that's why this reading is kind of coming late, because I had planned to have the Easter reading done this Friday, which I'm doing it the Friday before Easter, so basically the Friday before Good Friday, Palm Sunday's Friday, okay, for my people who know what that means. But unfortunately, I always have people trying to hinder me on my path to helping everybody do my divine path, which is so messed up, but like, I gotta breathe through it because the Sagittarian part of me is just like, I have my eye on the prize and I'm about to let this arrow go. And also I'm a Scorpio, so then another problem is that arrow has a tip that is a Scorpio tip with the venom. So I gotta be careful, man, because I will not only hurt people, but I will like, when I aim and fire, I never miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel so weird when I say that. I never miss because I always end up hurting somebody really bad. So it's like with my words, that's why I'm like, nope, not going there today. So, so Sagittarius, let's go ahead and see what are coming through from the Seelie court, what blessings are coming through, or all Seelie, all courts really, but I really work with Seelie. But let's see what's coming through for you guys. 3 cards. Come on, Sag. Okay, this one wants to stay neutral. I tried to move it, so let's see. Okay, you got Blessings of the White Heart again. I know I pulled this for you guys last week. So this card is still in your energy, but it's neutralized. All right, let's see why. Oh, Sagittarius. My loves. This card is freaking awesome. But when I bought this deck, okay, where do I begin? I actually have really great experience with this card. I worked for it for months, okay? Like literally the first night I got this deck. And I worked with it up until 3 weeks ago. So that was in December all the way to now, okay? Now, it might not take y'all this long because, again, this is the energy for the week. But this is a blessing from a fairy who is determined to help you. This card gave me so much help just getting to a point where I had to open up to another Fae blessing. And the only way that would happen was with this energy. Now, this energy, this Fae being that I worked with, is actually pretty love and light, but they were pretty determined to help me. And so if you're in a tight bind right now, reach out to the Fae through Goddess Freya. Say, Goddess Freya, I ask and invoke the energy of the fairy determined to help me card. That Luna pull to help bring me the help, and then state the help that you need. And they'll probably show you a blessing either in a dream or it'll just come to you in the 3D. Like I'm not saying like whatever you ask for will be true or come to fruition, but for the most part, I mean, I asked for about, let's say I needed like several different things, and of all of them, I got about 95 to 85% of what I needed. Even if that was just for me to have personal time and space to myself. You know, or if it was like okay, I really need $50. And I got to tell, I need $50 by like a certain time. They might get it to me a little late, but they still give me the $50 to pay a bill off. You know what I'm saying? But this energy was super helpful this whole time. I mean, nobody has gotten this card yet, and I couldn't wait for it to come out because this fairy card is so helpful. And also, this fairy card is one of those cards where like this fairy sees you suffering, and they tap in to Fae magic that is going to immediately help and enhance your 3D reality like that. Now, you have the blessing of the Sacred Heart in neutral. This isn't a bad card, honestly. This is pretty decent. I mean, I know last week was a little tough because you were learning a lot about integrity. And not only were you learning a lot about integrity, but you were learning about intention. And you were learning about the differences between others and their integrity and their intentions and yourself, and how sometimes the hardest path is the less path traveled, where you have to stay in your integrity. And it is not always easy. And the interesting thing is this is neutral now. So you have neutralized integrity. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because Sagittarius, neutralizing your integrity is almost like neutralizing this beautiful part of yourself that I think really wants to come through, but it's being neutralized for a certain reason. Now, I normally don't read reversals in this deck, but it is important because if the blessing of the Sacred Heart is neutral, that means you're passing through this energy now. You have faced it, you have now passed it, you're still learning from it, but you are moving on, but you cannot fully move on until, I assume, you had to work out your integrity before you could ask for help and get the help that you need, right? And now that you're doing that, the problem is you can't create on your own. You're having to co-create and give your manifestations over to an energy. But this is also about trust, because this energy has the highest good for you, okay? But this is like the one in your court that's behind you, that is advocating for you to get out of a situation or trying to help you get a situation. It's not like fairy godmother energy, but it's kind of close to it. There is a fairy godmother card in this deck, but this goes beyond that. This is like either a fae being that you were friends with, I want to say as a child, but that sounds weird. But it could be, I mean, because we're pretty open when we're children to fae and different beings and energies and whatnot. So it could be, or it could be this is a fae from, if you have felt highly connected to the fae, like you had a past life. This could also be a friend of yours in the fae realm who is watching over you right now, who sees your struggle and is like, yo, I'm coming in. Or the way this energy worked for me, I didn't question how she saw it, because the fae are pretty intuitive. They're psychic as well, but they're so psychic. Nobody questions them, you know? Like, everybody always questions the human psychic mediums, but never the fae. And the funny part is when I knew she knew, I didn't have to tell her anything. She was like, okay, like in the dream world, we're going to do this, this, and this. You know, like she was looking in a book when she came to me with this card. So kind of funny how that worked. But I'm pointing this out because I want you guys to understand that you're having to deal, because this is a card of creation and it's in complete reverse, meaning that's why I said you're not able to co-create right now. Independently. You have to co-create codependently. But this person or this energy, this fae being, usually has your best, highest good in your favor. So that is working for you. And honestly, this is almost like what you're working with on your integrity. So if you are working with the fae beings, you are working with fae beings who have high integrity and intentions. Therefore, if you are manifesting with the Sacred Heart as well, what I need to tell you is, one, Sagittarius, get clear on what you're manifesting. And the only way to really get clear is to go within, of course. But also when you use when you do use the Isis Oracle, or even if you're just manifesting here, it's still going to be the same thing. Before you do a rite, ritual, or passage, get clear about your integrity and your outcome. Otherwise, your manifestation might come out messed up. It'll be wonky, all right? And I don't want that to happen to you guys. If it does, I normally don't do this, but if it does, email me and I'll set up a session, paid session, of course, because your girl's been doing this for so long. I've been doing this for so long. But a paid session, that way we can kind of figure out like why it went wonky. What was wrong with the intention there? Or where did the lines get misaligned? That's why I always say speak clearly, like very, very clearly, especially when working with the Fae. Honestly, the best kind of clarification I could give you is the live action Aladdin, even though I'm not a big fan of what Will Smith did at the Academy. He's paying for it, so you know what? Go ahead and watch it on Disney+. But the point is he plays the genie, and genies are actually Fae beings in the Fae world. They're fairy beings in the Fae world, but they're called jinns, and jinns are pretty dangerous. So I'm not saying work with them, but in Aladdin, the genie, his character goes into specifics about manifestation that I think you might want to take some lessons on, Sag, because he talks about, the difference between making a wish and speaking with an intention clearly. But what I also like about that genie character in the Aladdin film is the live action with said Will Smith is that he's also trying to get him to tell the truth, to get Aladdin to tell the truth, because again, it comes with integrity. And he explains in the movie that like with genie magic, since it's Fae magic, it works. But with genie magic, for some reason, the way they wrote it in the movie, it fades very quick. And it has to do with either people see through the illusion, like for example, he glamours Aladdin, all of that. The point is it's because of that person's integrity. The higher vibration energy frequency that they work with the correct integrity, it's not like the magic won't work. It still will, but it will fade quicker, right? So with that energy, with that genie energy. And so the point of this, the reason I'm telling you this is that's most likely why you're having to get exceptionally clear about yourself and your manifestation. And actually, I would even say, what's it going to do for you? You want to manifest this big thing, but you can't by yourself. Why? I know, so intense. But really, don't tell me in an email. Just answer to yourself. Why is it important to you? What is this going to do for you? And the reason I'm telling you this and I'm saying this is because when you start questioning yourself like that before you do spells, rituals, rites, incantations, it's going to make a hell of a lot of difference in your outcomes as well as what you're looking for. Because if you answer, well, I'm wanting to manifest this because I want real love, that's a great answer. But why do you want real love? Have you not had real love your whole life? Yeah, see? Because then you start to realize, oh shit, maybe I have had real love. So why do I feel this need of why I don't have real love? You see what I'm saying? And then you're going to go within yourself. And for those people who can't, that's okay. You can stop right there and you can manifest that. But your manifestation is so general that you could end up saying you want real love, but let's say I want real romantic love, more specific, okay? Because then that's attracting a romantic partner versus I want real love. And that could be from a family member who says, hey, I love you, or hey, your job, or the people at your job start saying, we love having you here. You see what I'm saying? That's how manifestation works. That's how it works, guys. Like it's very much, and I sometimes feel like the universe is like an old, deaf, elderly individual. And the reason I say old is because they're way past elderly age of a human time. I say old as an ancient, but I say elderly so you understand this metaphor. I feel like they're an elderly person with a hearing aid, and their hearing aid is like going in and out. So when you say you don't want something, your integrity is saying, I don't want this, but the universe is saying, well, I do. It hears it as I do want this. So I always tell people to, instead of saying I don't during a full moon, because we can't be saying that, otherwise you'll start manifesting weird things, like things you don't even want. So, and then you'll be like, well, why did I get this? What the hell, universe? And it's because the universe heard I want, because it's little hearing aids going in and out, right? So instead, what you'll do is you'll say, universe, I really want this XYZ. Very specific, right? And then with your intention, give it to the Fae being. And then the Fae being will most likely, through Goddess Freya, Because remember, highest good, she's over all the fae. You're going to ask her as you invoke this energy, if this is not possible, you can also say, I would rather like, and then put what you'd be content with for that moment, and they'll bring it forward. That is important too, because sometimes, people hold out on manifesting things because they want everything like this, and this. And the problem is with manifestations and working with your integrity is, look, it's great to have integrity. I love that y'all are getting this type of attitude. The problem is when you hold too tightly to a vision, especially with manifestation, spellworks, and rituals, you can't truly create because you're still limiting yourself. Yeah, you'll create and yeah, it'll work, but you might miss something along the way that actually would have opened the door to this. Okay? So this energy is teaching you how to work with maybes and yeses, but how to do with it on a team. And Sagittarius, I know you're used to being a leader. I mean, hello, you lead the cosmos. Hello. But my loves, it's okay to take a minute to relax. With the sun about to dip out into Aries and move into Taurus, now would be the time to just ease up a little bit, because Mercury retrograde is coming in 2 weeks. Yes, get everything that you need to get done before the retrograde, get it done now. But when the retrograde comes, just streamline. Streamline. Okay? Keep it streamlined, because that's the only true way you're going to be able to move forward, especially with your manifestations, because Mercury's going to put them on hold either way. So if you want to manifest something and you say you want it by a certain date, give it till Mercury goes direct, which I think is June 3rd. But that's also, I don't know if that is post-shadow or pre-shadow, so I'm going to go with it's post-shadow. So you got 2 weeks, okay? You can give yourself a 2-week cushion to kind of just get everything together. All right, guys? So other than that, if you liked this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you want to tip me, that would be amazing. Please do that at my book link. If you want to book an emergency session with me, please do so at my link down below. And for the Patreon links to the ritual rites spells, that is on down below. And the full moon reading is also down below. Love you, Sagittarius. See you next week. Happy Easter. Bye.